welcome to this week's episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. As always, it's the host LJ. And I'm joined here by the co-host AD. How you doing today, bro?
Hey man, it's a chill Sunday. Shout out to the folks who pulled up for the Twitter Spaces thing earlier on Sunday. That was kind of fun, even though Twitter was kind of hoeing us a little bit.
Oh man, they was acting like some hoes, bro. They cut us out twice. They knocked us out twice. But man, hey, listen, that was definitely fun and definitely something that we're gonna try to make a consistent thing of doing.
Yeah,
It's really great to talk to people and listen to how listen to people's thoughts on latest chapters, figure out what like people are reading, what's popular right now. So man, definitely shout out to everyone that hopped in, joined, even if you just popped in for a second just to listen, man. Appreciate you guys.
yeah, most definitely. But today about these chapters that we got to talk about though, that we didn't get into fully on the Twitter Spaces thing. We're bringing it to you first. Manga Mondays, it's always the hottest thing going. Plus, we may have a little manga of the month section at the end of this. Shout out to Assassination Classroom. Shout out to everybody who read it. That's one of my favorites. It's an all timer. It's really a classic, to be honest. And I'm glad that we chose that for March. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Assassination Classroom is on a different level. And it's really when you look at um, like shonen mangas, it's definitely it is different. I don't know, like it is. I don't know. It tugs at some different heartstrings for me. Reading Assassination Classroom, like just
Yeah,
the like you see kind of what the kids have to go through, and you see them kind of struggling with this. You know, they're struggling with they have to kill their teacher, but in reality this is like the best teacher they have ever had. Like this is like the first
exactly.
person that like sat down and like really believed in them and really fed into them, and they have to kill this man. So it's, man, Assassination Classroom was definitely a fun read.
Yeah,
um yeah, but like you said, this is a crazy week in manga. So Assassination
yeah,
Classroom, like I know that was our manga of the month, but it might need to be put on hold because we got some big things to talk about.
yeah.
And
But I was gonna say, because this is a packed week, we had to bring a guest along.
yeah, we
Uh,
definitely did.
shout out to my homie. His Twitch is Image Inception. He's an artist. He's one of the people who really got me into like reading manga a whole lot more. And I like to introduce y'all to my homie Nick. What's up, Nick?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Man, I'm happy that you're here, bro. Like I appreciate you. I appreciate you getting AD into manga, because if you weren't, it wasn't for you, he wouldn't even be on this show. So listen, everything works out. Everything works out. There's a connection in everything.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, nah, I definitely appreciate coming on here because this gives me something to do on my Sunday, and you know, hey, when nothing better to do but to talk about something you actually like.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. That's
definitely,
facts.
definitely. So right now, before we, but no, we're just gonna hop straight into it. We can do the other stuff later, because before we got into this, we were all talking, and Attack on Titan final chapter came up as a topic, and as soon as Attack on Titan came on, now mind you guys, this is all vocal, this is all audio, but I felt Nick's eyes like widen, like as soon as Attack on Titan was mentioned, Nick was like, "A word? Like this is what we talking." So, all right, Nick, you said you had some takes. You said you had some takes, and I need to know what's the good word on Attack on Titan right now. What you feeling about it? How you feel about that final chapter? Like, where's your heart at right now with that?
So look, I'm not gonna lie. Um, I got put on the manga for Attack on Titan like the year it was released by one of my homeboys in college. And when they showed it to me, like, hey, this coming out with an anime, this gonna be kind of fire. Go ahead, look this up. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. And for me personally, I get a lot of heat because I really be sitting here as like, this is really more mid than people give it credit for.
Oh yes, we
And
here with
yeah, so like that's the thing. That's the thing that really be bugging me. And I have a lot of talk with a bunch of my friends on it. A lot of the hype behind it is really centered around recency bias and the fact that the people that are the people that are actually like getting into it, their sample pool of like manga and anime and the quality of it is really small. So whenever you see something that like immediately jumps to like the out of pocket stuff, like you immediately gonna be like, all right, oh, this that gas, this that gas, this that gas. Attack on Titan had a really solid, it had a really solid stride going up until whenever they went into the government takeover in Paradise. And like for a solid year after that, when I say I was like I had to struggle to read it because it was literally almost a year of them explaining government politics. And that was it lost me on that. It lost the hype off of that for me. And then they get to the time skip. And once they got to that time skip, I was like, okay, they're trying to do something cool. I'm still a little I'm still a little weaned off because I like it's finally giving me something new as opposed to getting word vomit for damn near chapter after chapter. And like I think it was around the time that Aaron defected, and I was sitting here, I was like, they really about to code Geass this shit. They really about to code Geass this shit, and people really have been sitting here like the quote unquote Jaegerists that be on Twitter and shit, be hyping shit up like Aaron did nothing wrong and all that. Y'all are act like I have never seen an anime fan base actively condone genocide. And I really be sitting here like, bro, are y'all fucking tripping? Like, are y'all really on this supremacist kick and y'all not seeing this shit?
Man, listen. Talk your talk. Talk this talk, bro. Talk this
Bro,
talk because I feel a lot of what you're saying. I definitely agree with the recency bias because when Attack on Titan the anime dropped, that was 2013, right?
yeah.
So 2013 was I would consider a down year for anime. I would consider during that like early 2010s, like anime was like in this weird spot. Like there was nothing really big. Like Hunter x Hunter, I think like Hunter x Hunter had just like came back and like I think that was still
Yeah,
running a
because
bit.
they
I
did the
think that was
reboot.
like in the middle of Chimera Ant or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you got Hunter x Hunter pretty much on his last leg. You got and really, I can't think of anything else that was really big during 2013. So Attack on Titan comes around, and Attack on Titan's like holy shit, like whoa,
Like
like
shock value.
yeah, it's a lot of shock value, and this is this really becomes the first big anime we've had in a minute and I mean, Attack on like I'm not gonna take away from the fact that Attack on Titan held anime down for a little bit. Like that first like season or that first season, first two seasons definitely held anime down for a bit until like newer things started coming out and whatnot. But I agree though that I think that this recency bias in how things are shaping up with it, especially with the anime, has made people rank this much higher than where it should be. Like people are calling this the GOAT. Like people are putting this over like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I'm like, what the
Hey, bro.
I had to step away.
Oh,
I
because
put Twitter down that day.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood it's in my top two and it's not number two.
Listen, it's in my top three. It's in my top three. It's third for me. So it's like
Yeah.
we I think everyone has this kind of like listen, I think even if you're like a casual anime fan, but if you even seen Full Metal Alchemist, like that shit's be in niggas top five, like easy.
Like,
Exactly.
cause the like it was the like whenever I think about Full Metal Alchemist and like how it ended, like manga, anime, and the first series. Well, maybe not the first series as much. The first series was good, but it wasn't as good as Brotherhood. Not to say it
Yeah.
was bad. It just it's not as good as Brotherhood, point blank. And Full Metal, no lie, that was one of the first series. Whenever it finished, I let out like a single thug tear after that because like my heart hurt because I was like they told a complete story
Oh
and they
yeah.
let it end. Like the fact that they let the story end, they let everything like come to a complete circle and just like left it like it should. And I think what happened with Attack on Titan, it happens a lot with a lot of different mangas and animes and stories in general, is they don't know when they need to cut shit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you,
And when he cut
like,
it, it felt so like this ending felt abrupt. Like he just was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just end it right here."
I agree with that too, but it also feels like with the ending, it was building up to such a big climax, but they were throwing stuff in there for the sake of, making it build on top of each other. Like we get
time
to the
travel,
entire slug thing, the time
fucking
paradox thing.
time travel.
Bro, I ain't gonna hold you. The time travel, while it was hype, when you see him flashback with Grisha and Grisha getting all the information through the flashback, and it's Aaron the entire time, it's like, bro, that is kind of crazy. But at the same time, how does that even work? Like, what does this say for Aaron? Like,
Aaron is his own grandfather.
he's making out all of these points for Mikasa and Armin, but it's really directed back at himself because he's still locked in his own thing. He's not free like he said that Mikasa was. But then you have this entire plot. Everything is building up. Everybody turns into Titans now. Gabby, like all of the Eldians, just flat out Titans now. At the end of the 138,
Yep,
and then it's like, okay, so where do we go from here? Is the world completely ending? And now we get this whole
no,
time.
like
I think that the messiest thing for me, in all honesty, for Attack on Titan, is the jumping around, different cutting between back and forth, the flashbacks, trying to see where people are standing, especially when you get to the Armin flashback and how Aaron came to Armin on the boat and how he erased all of their memories. Like I ain't gonna lie, the memory wiping thing was good in the sense that like that was already something established because of the King
with
Fritz wiping
Grisha
out
and
all
shit.
the, yeah. So that's cool. Like I'm okay with that. But it's just like it's messy in the execution. And I would never touch this in like the top 10. Nah.
It
Like
was
it's great,
even
but
it was even like how the chapter like how the chapter started, because I mean 138 ended with Mikasa sitting there cradling Aaron deadhead.
Hold on, wait. She's not cradling that motherfucker. She
she
kissing that
tonguing
nigga.
it. She
She
tonguing him.
tonguing, oh, tonguing a
Tongue
severed
that
head down.
she
Hey,
said,
I ain't
And
"It's
gonna
not
hold.
dead. I don't want it."
That's the
I
same
mean,
shit that Pito did to Kite.
Oh God.
oh, come
Ugh.
on,
But
come
like
on,
that
come on.
138 ended like that, and I'm not gonna lie. Like after, cause like the whole cross the water war shit, like that's what, like I said earlier, that's like where all my attention and shit with it just kind of like fell flat because I was like, all right, I just at this point I'm just following the story along because I've been reading it for so long. I just want to see it to end, and it's taking up bandwidth in my mental space. So if I don't finish it, it's gonna bother me. So like whenever it got to Aaron dying, my first reaction, no cap, was so many people about to be so fucking pissed, and I am so happy because they're finally about to see this shit for what it's worth.
Man, but like, here's the wild thing. Like, people are trying to make it seem that a conclusion doesn't matter. They're like, well, just because it ended
Nah,
bad doesn't make it bad. I'm like, well, it does. I mean, like, this is when you're telling a complete story, a shitty ending could ruin like a story
if
like
you
immediately.
get a 5 course meal and then your last, like the dessert on that 5 course meal is a literal pile of shit, then your meal is a pile of shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. And this is the thing too, is that Attack on Titan had a nice little break. Had a nice little break. Like, I mean, not the manga, but like the anime.
Bro,
And
that
I
was like
think a
five
lot
fucking
more people
years.
are an anime only more than manga. But it makes people forget too is that they had a shaky ass beginning too. That beginning was shaky as fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You get a shaky ending with or a shaking beginning with a shitty ending. I can't hype up the middle. I can't, like, although it's good, I'm not gonna take away from it. Like, it was good. There are definitely some
Like,
very fun things. And I agree with you. I think that it really starts getting weird as soon as they start talking about, when they figure out that there's more across the water.
Like
Um it just takes a different turn where you're like, what is going on here?
And, it's kind of sad in that regard because one of the biggest things that you can have in like manga or anime is like the world building aspect. So the fact that we finally get to see what's outside of those borders, we finally learn what's in the basement, and it starts throwing in all of this politics and stuff like that. It's like, all right, I don't know about this one, Chief.
Like
You're
this
starting to kind of
this was
drain
a
me.
whole ass story about giant meat mechs killing shit, and then next thing y'all know,
Meat
here's the
mechs.
racism. Here's the
Yeah,
racism. There
here's
you
the
go.
racism.
Racism. You got a bunch of self hate. You got a bunch of just a bunch of shit in there
And
that
and I'm not gonna say like societal aspects like that take away from a series, but it just like it it felt like it tried to make itself something that it wasn't. Or like if it was gonna do that from jump, I feel like that could have been pushed a bit more, and it just kind of fell off because it was doing a lot. Like,
Yeah,
and that's why I stay away from certain time travel stories and shit because not everyone can do time travel right. And then whenever you make your main character omniscient, and your character still doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, that's an issue. He
yeah,
knows everything, but he doesn't know what to do, and
yeah.
he can't
There's way
explain
too
why
many
he did what he
choices.
did.
yeah, I mean the time traveling thing was so weird to me. Like and it got confusing because he was, there was first it was okay, we can visit the past and we can see the past. And then Aaron suddenly is like, well, actually, guess what? Nigga, I could see into the future too. Like, nigga, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, where is this going?
And then it wasn't
y-
even the full future too.
yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. And so, I, the one thing I'll say about this is that the one thing I did enjoy about the time traveling thing is I like the fact that when him, Armin, and Mikasa are all talking, they are talking as children, and I think that that just speaks a lot to Aaron. That back when Aaron felt that he had a bit of innocence still, and still had this bit of like, had this little glow in his eyes where they're all were just friends, like they weren't really. What their biggest thing was finding freedom beyond the walls. It wasn't about being a titan. It wasn't about any other shit. And I like how a lot of their dialogue when they talk in the past, especially when they're talking about like this last chapter where Armin's asking this nigga like, bro, like why the fuck did you just why were you bugging, like why are you tripping out so much? um I like that they talk as kids because I just think that just adds a different emotional feel to it. But the fact that you gotta kind of read the last two chapters as one full chapter because how it's split up and how it just doesn't make it the
It doesn't
it
make
just doesn't
sense
make sense. It doesn't feel, you know what I'm saying, it feels really choppy.
because it was the way that they started it because they started immediately with him and Armin talking without any type of like it could have even been just like Armin on the battlefield and then like him going into like a flash or some shit.
Yeah, like
And
some Jimmy
then
Neutron like mind warp or something like.
yeah,
All right.
like him actually remembering it. And it just like it was so abrupt that it was just like I thought pages were fucking missing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of those things that the anime will correct because they can fill in the scenes with Armin
Yeah.
remembering everything that happens once the head gets cut. So I mean, like it's one of those things where it's like, all right, the ending is messy for the manga, so let's try to clean it up a little bit to make it a little bit more satisfying towards the end. Like I could imagine, like when they're all on the boat heading back towards Parody with John and Peak and everybody else sitting at that table. And they're having a discussion. It's like, okay, we're about to bring peace, and this is the first step that we're gonna. You can imagine like some soft music playing in the background, maybe
Oh
some
yeah.
flashbacks to like them being in the scout corps training, the training arc and everything. When Aaron first turns into a titan, like they're gonna try to like hype up or like build up the moment in the anime. But like as far as the manga, I don't know about this, Chief. The It's cool, it's
Because
alright.
what I will say about Attack on Titan is even though I do give the even though I do give the manga a lot of flack, I will say that the anime does a whole lot better job of the mount than the manga as part sorry of bringing the story together because they have more mechanical aspects to it as opposed to just being so dry because
Yeah.
They got well past all the political shit in the anime a whole lot better than they did in the manga because they didn't focus on it as much.
Do you
Yeah.
think this is gonna be one of those? This is gonna be one of those things where I think the anime definitely outshines the manga.
Hell yeah.
Um, I just think the story that he's trying to tell or that's being told just it doesn't fit manga form in a way. Um, it's very dialogue-y too. And we're gonna get into another chapter that was very, very dialogue-y this this week. Uh, but no, it's just so dialogue-y, and I think just there's so much going on that reading it and actually visually seeing it and like in action is two different feelings. And I think that the anime, I think that them seeing how the anime or the final manga chapter is being received, I can see them trying to pulling an audible on the anime for part two.
Hold that shit.
I can definitely see them pulling an audible and giving us. I'm not gonna say a completely different ending, but I could see them doing something different with the ending.
They can transition. Now I know, irregardless, people still gonna be mad at Aaron looking like a fucking bitch at the end of that shit.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
it's
Yeah.
especially like all the Aaron wasn't wrong and all this other stuff. And you really see him sobbing, crying, snot dripping down his nose because of the thought of Mikasa getting with another nigga.
I
Yeah. And see,
mean,
that's the thing though, bro. Listen, no, here's the thing. This is the thing that people are not seeing
Aaron been the
as the
same
moral of the
nigga.
story in this final chapter is that all Aaron had to do was fuck Mikasa. Like all he had to do was just let her hit one time, bro. Like it wasn't even him hitting; it's her
Let
hitting because she
her
been
hit.
thirsty for this nigga the entire series, and this nigga been dubbing her the entire series. He should have
Like,
just he should have just clapped. He should have just
bro,
clapped.
AD was here for this conversation because at the very end of everything, like we see how, oh well, since Aaron died, Ymir used the founding and the Attack Titan powers to wipe all the traces of fucking Titans out of everyone, and no one can no longer shift. Aaron has had that power since he got his head shot off by Zeke. Aaron could have, like, for all of the shit they were going to do, instead of killing 80% of the population of the planet,
yeah.
all he had to do was scare these niggas, talk them into treaties with the condition that they will relinquish the power and get rid of it. As they showed was viable at the very end of this shit. So that way 80% of the fucking population did not have to die.
Hey,
Exactly.
I hope niggas give Aaron the same hell they was giving my nigga Gabby. Yeah. I want niggas to keep the
Oh, that
same
fuck Gabby
energy.
shit? I was
Man,
like,
listen.
bro,
Listen, bro. Listen. I hope niggas give Aaron the same exact fucking treatment because this nigga, she shot one person in reaction to them wiping out her entire town. Like them niggas just pulling up and just killing her homies and shit. This nigga was about to wipe out an entire like you said, commit
genocide.
genocide.
And he damn
Like
near did it too.
damn
Yep.
near. He was shit. He almost completed the job. He was like 60% done.
I've been saying ever since the time travel was shown, my go-to statement has been, if you ain't realized, Aaron is a school shooter. With a is the school shooter with a bigger gun.
Oh yeah, he got the
And
biggest motherfucker in there.
and he is also, while simultaneously having all of the keys to peace within his, but always choosing violence. Aaron does not give a fuck about any, like, yeah, he gives a fuck about his friends, but even in that, he cares about them, but he's not smart enough to act in ways that are beneficial to his friends.
He goes out and shoots the class. He goes out and shoot every other classroom, and he's like, you know what? Y'all can stay in this classroom if y'all want. Y'all are free. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. But if y'all try to stop me as I'm gunning down all of these other classrooms, then we're gonna
I'm
have a
also
problem.
gunning them.
Like
Like
that's literally what Aaron did. I'm mad you did
this,
the school shooter thing, bro.
Bro,
you
it
know
makes
it's
sense.
true. You know
It
it's
makes
true.
sense.
He killed his own mom.
They didn't
He
even need to
killed
reveal that
his
at the end,
own
bro. They didn't
mom.
even need to reveal that at the end, too. Like the fact that he chose to kill his own mom for the future. Come on, bro. Come
He
on.
chose he chose to have his, I guess she would still be his stepmom to some extent because it was his dad's ex-wife.
Yeah.
But like, you chose to have your stepmom eat your real mom in order to save a nigga. Well, you probably didn't even have to do that. You could have just sent her in the other direction altogether. You didn't have to have her walk over Berthold. Like, and then I don't know. It's just it's
Yeah.
so much shit that just makes my head hurt about the story. But
It's
people
too
try to
all over the
justify it.
place.
Yeah,
Like the story, it does this weird thing where it continuously shifts the blame of like who's right and who's wrong. You're like, well, no, they're right, no, they're wrong. Like, no,
it,
no, 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 no. And
well,
then
well,
just for
think
it to
about
all
it.
end to be like, oh no, actually, it's all Aaron's fault. Like everything, this entire story, this entire journey that we have been on. At the end of the day, nope, it's actually the main character's fault that why we're
Well,
here.
Aaron is the protagonist. He's the antagonist to his protagonist.
Yeah,
yeah. He's basically like light in a sense. You know what I mean? What,
He's a dumber light that wants to be Lelouch.
he's a
pretty much.
he's a dumber both of them. He's just a nigga who flew too high to the sun. That's what he did. He flew way too fucking high to
He
the
didn't even get
sun.
to the sun. That nigga got to the equator and dropped.
And
For real.
it's still kind of messy because all of that stuff is still kind of Grisha's fault, but he was still being manipulated by Jaegers. And it comes back into like full circle, bro. It's like, what is
If
this?
y'all if y'all have ever seen that episode of Futurama, whenever Fry fucked his grandma and became his own
He's his own
grandpa,
great.
Yeah.
that is Attack on Titan.
Hey, I love that you got a Futurama reference in there because I love Futurama. Great
Like
show.
he is his own grandfather of pain.
That's crazy. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, AOT, what can you do? It's all done now. So it's it's all over. It's gonna by the end of this year, it will be all done. So we're we'll write this out into the whatever, we'll write this into the sun. They did what they did. Congratulations to them, all the success that they had. And it's time to hang it up. Now it's time for goat talk though, because Jujutsu Kaisen came hard this week.
Bruh. And that chapter this week just proved go first off, Gojo be doing the fucking most. Even while
Gojo don't think before he act. He just be acting. He a reckless nigga.
like
Yeah,
So when we're looking at this chapter, this is some of the most dialogue we have gotten, and you said the past 5 chapters. I'ma say, man, this has been the most dialogue we've gotten since probably the middle of the Shibuya incident. To be honest, like
yeah,
there's a lot of talking, but it's needed. It's definitely needed because Jujutsu Kaisen definitely does this thing where it will just throw you in the midst of action, and with all the chaos going on, they truly don't sit down and kind of explain like what's really the game plan. Like they take moments to, but it's just chaotic, and which I truly enjoy about the manga, which I think um he uses that chaos as an advantage or as a strength rather than a weakness. But it's nice that we actually have a chapter where they're kind of sitting down and they're really breaking down to us like, okay, what is happening next? Like, what is the game plan next? Like, what's the time? I know they're taking a time to take a breather and to figure out their next steps. And I think that this chapter does that very well.
I
Obviously we are now meeting Mr. Or Master Tegan,
I feel you
and
on that.
but we're meeting Master Tengen, and I don't what the fuck is this nigga?
He's a god.
yeah. Pretty much, he's basically god of the cursed world because he even says he's the world himself. So it's like we're just now understanding who he is. Why is he like this all knowing, all powerful, but not even really all powerful thing? Because he still can't get Gojo out the realm itself. What are you here for? What why are you sealed here?
He's a
But then it's
super
like
barrier.
I think he also said that he used to be human, but because he couldn't transfer his soul, he just after 500 years of aging, even though he's immortal, he just transformed himself. So it's kind of he's just a wild nigga, bro. The cursed
Like
energy in this shit is like ridiculous.
the second you called him the world, I immediately started imagining him with DL's face. Oh, oh no.
Yo,
Oh
Bruh.
shit!
When
That's
you
hilarious. Hey, someone Photoshop that. Whoever listens to
I,
this and you no, dead
please.
ass. If whoever listens to this episode and you listen to that statement and you Photoshop that and make that happen, you will win a prize. I don't know what you will win a prize.
something.
Uh,
Yeah.
fuck it. I need y'all to. I need to visually see that now. I
So
need to visually see that now.
let me see, because right now I know he's immortal. He's more than yeah, 500 years of aging, but I forgot how often he transfers into a star platinum body. Okay, so it's every 500 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was
And
because of the incident with
with the
Gojo's
girl that
flashback.
yeah,
Yeah,
when he
Yeah.
fought
So
that girl.
I think that if you are a fan, and obviously Jujutsu Kaisen just getting out of the Shibuya incident, there's been a lot going on. If you really want a refresher and you really want to kind of get a understanding or idea, or just even refresh what's going on, reread the Gojo past arc, which is my personal favorite arc in this entire series. I think that arc is absolutely amazing.
yeah,
It
same.
will give you a lot of context of why Master Tengen is very important right now to the story. It will give you a lot of just give you insight on that. It will give you explanations on the star plasma vessels and six eyes and all these different things that he's talking about right now. Because these
Yeah,
are things that have not been brought up or really talked about since that arc.
yeah. I'll also say it has probably one of my favorite fights that I can't wait to see get animated. Is Geto versus the old man. If you go read that arc. That fight is fantastic. Even the climax of that fight is, it's heat. Just, but yeah, definitely go reread that.
It's
Um,
also I think the first introduction of Toji the terrorist.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. Who also gets a who also gets a nice little cameo. Toji's cold. I love Toji. I think Toji's character is so dope.
He's a
Yeah.
fucking terrorist.
He's a fucking monster. Yeah, that boy Gojo looking like Gojo on the ropes. He was at Gojo like, God damn. He was
Nothing
stabbing
but
that man
hands.
up.
Nothing but hands.
Nothing, yeah, no curse techniques, no nothing, straight hands.
And like the fact that Goji, the fact that Toji is basically a fully realized version of what Maki is kind of frightening on the slick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Cause
yeah, Maki's gonna hit that level.
oh, it's gonna be fucking. That's gonna be fucking wild.
Definitely. So, we go through this chapter. They're meeting him, Master Tengen. They're figuring more out about him. Um, Pretty
And they're
much his
also
important.
explaining the culling game as well.
Yes, they're explaining the culling game, which is like Hunger Games times 1,000. Um, but Tengen is sitting here. He's like, listen, I can help you niggas out, and I know y'all be thinking I'm all powerful and everything, but now because of how many transformations I've gone through, I'm more cursed I'm more of a curse than anything. So I'm now susceptible to like curse techniques and all that. So he's like, I'm gonna tell y'all all this information, but two of y'all need to stay here to guard me. So, it's gonna be a nice little trade off. So whatever two y'all are gonna stay here, y'all can stay. But I need that. But no, so he talks. He's giving them explanation kind of about himself. He's talking about what the what the plan is really, and the plan is to take Tengen and merge him with the world, which would pretty much release cursed, like pretty much will turn everybody into a cursed and like just turn.
It'll really turn everybody in the world will basically gain like curse techniques or quirks in a sense. They will all unlock like cursed abilities, which is also kind of what the culling game was doing, I thought. Because they say when you enter the culling game, you're bringing out your curse power. But if you don't jump into the culling game, then you basically lose that ability. So I mean, like, I guess they're trying to make everybody have curse technique. That's crazy. Like niggas just gonna be running around throwing dog demons at each other. You know how crazy that would be if everybody. What would you do with curse power? What would you want your curse power to be?
Oh shit. I'm gonna get
See,
on my. Hey, listen, bro. I want a sword. I want a sword. I want to be on my Utah shit. Dead ass. I want a sword. I want to like listen, infuse my sword with curse energy. That's what I want. Can I
uh,
get a? Can I get a blammer? Can I get a? Can I get a Glock?
you gonna
A
get the
curse Glock?
blicky?
Yo, I want a curse blicky.
Bro, be like Maki's sister and go ahead and reload that shit with curse energy.
Yeah.
That's it, dog. I need a cursed Uzi, nigga. That's what I
So
need.
no
Cursed
cap,
Glock with a switch on it. Just cursed.
I think
Yeah.
I think I'd do a heavenly restriction and then join a professional sports team.
I was I ain't gonna hold you. I was honestly thinking the same thing, or have like a cursed
Bruh.
bat and
Who
just like
A
gonna
be a
catch
cursed
strong
bat.
ass.
me?
Yeah.
Hey, a cursed bat. Hey, cursed bat and go get that MLB money.
Bruh,
Boy, that bat will never break.
bruh,
I'm
let me
sending
Hmm.
go
that bitch to
run
the
up.
bleacher all the time.
Let me go run up, try to play football, all of 5'9" and 130 pounds. Let's go.
I will say this. I think I really enjoy like out of all the techniques that we've seen, Megumi definitely has probably one of my favorites though. I think the shadow puppets, that shit's hard to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't he after I cannot pronounce old dude name the big shit with the wheel on it. After that, isn't there like two more?
Um
I remember what you're talking about. I think there is one more after that.
Yeah, it's something
Um,
after that, and then because no one's made it past the big circle thing yet because they have to beat them all in order to have him in Shikigami.
yeah, but it's also like that's yeah. I don't think they've beaten anything past that, and that was like what the last two of his cursed techniques of his
Yeah,
cursed
because it's
summons.
10.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think so. But what if that's what Sukuna is aiming for?
I don't
That's
think
the question.
I don't think he explicitly knows what's after that, but I know a lot of folk have been throwing out the idea that he's gonna try to use Megumi in order to like get a new body or something of the sort.
yeah, that could
I could
happen. I could
I
see
could
that.
see it.
Yeah, like
Um and I mean to go back to our original statement because it kind of ends the chapter. We're talking about Gojo's still locked up. He has he destroys every possibility that could have gotten him locked up. So he's locked up in the prison realm, in this prison cube. I guess that there's two cubes. There's one with a front gate and there's a back door. And Tengen just so happens to have the back door. But the two ways that you could have opened it up, guess who destroyed those two ways?
fucking Gojo.
Fucking Gojo with the black magic rope, which which is why Yuta was traveling the damn world, and the inverted spear of heaven. So two things that are sealed up right now and are destroyed. So now they're like, yo, how can we open up this thing? And we are introduced to another sorcerer who is
Oh,
an angel that her curse technique is she can extinguish any curse technique.
So she's basically Aizawa.
yep, I'll think the same
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. She's curse Aizawa. She's curse Eraserhead.
Except like whenever she makes it go bye bye, it stay bye bye.
It stayed bye. It stayed going. Like she like fuck it. Hey man, listen, she's low key, she's doing this wrong. I would have opened up a little shop and been like, listen, charging niggas a fee.
I make
I
shit
exchange
go.
your crowns. I would have been living lavish with that curse technique.
Well, like they said she's over 1,000 years old too, which I
Yeah.
don't.
That is crazy.
These like the way age works here is really wild as fuck because I mean we have Tengen, we have Sukuna, we got Brain Nigga, and now we have Angel, and then thinking about the fact that Gojo stays in prison world as long as he's in there, but he don't eat or anything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. It's like the more that you use curse techniques, the longer that your vitality or your the longer you can live pretty much. And you see it with all of these characters, I guess, because you know, you have Sukuna, you have you have Hana, who's the angel girl who can extinguish all the curse techniques. You have Tengen, and even Kamo, who's invading everybody's body. We how long has he lived as well? It's like the curse techniques really just do a lot for niggas who want to live a long ass time. I wouldn't be surprised if Pharrell got that.
Yeah,
Pharrell be
Pharrell
using
definitely got like Pharrell
Pharrell be
definitely
Pharrell,
using
got
Pharrell's
curse
curse
techniques.
technique is his discography. It's his
Pharrell
discography.
just
That's it.
started aging. Pharrell just started aging like 2 years ago.
His curse technique is making his discography.
Hell yeah, shit. Listen, man, he made he made from the church to the palace. I mean, I don't what more can we say? That is definitely his curse technique. Um but yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm interested in seeing Hana's character. It would be nice to get thrown a little curveball, and maybe she's like on some like, you know what, like I'm actually not fucking with y'all. Like actually, whatever. So I think this culling game is gonna. I think this culling game is going to expose a lot of people, and is going to shift a lot of things. It's going to move the playing pieces around. So I'm really excited to see what happens next with this.
So
Same.
in regards to how you say you think Hannah may act, example for that, because I think I'm of the same mind of that. I think it's gonna be like the fourth generation Fire Girl from Fire Force.
Oh yeah, where she's just kind of just like, you know
Like
what?
she be connecting the dots and making shit explode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think she's gonna be a wild card on her own. I don't think she's really gonna like she after. I mean, you think about somebody that's lived for about 1,000 years. They don't care about this bullshit that's going on right now. They just
because
be
it
happy.
doesn't. I mean, in any of this happening doesn't really affect her. She's like, I'm gonna be alright. Like y'all
I
niggas is
can
gonna be the ones in trouble.
I can blink shit out of existence anytime I want. Y'all
You
not
know,
gonna fight
pretty
me though.
much.
Y'all not gonna fight me though.
Yeah, what y'all gonna do? We gonna scrap about it? I mean, let's do it. Let's run it. Like that's. I mean, yeah, she's in that position though, like you said, of where her technique plus how long she's been alive. Like she really is in a position where she could be a wild card. You don't know how she's gonna act. You don't know how like what way she's gonna move. And granted, her technique is really OP. It's her character though, like that's what I'm more interested in. Like her
yeah,
power is cool. Her character though, like how is her personality, all that. That's where I'm more excited about than her like figuring out that there's just an OP character. Because you can have an
yeah.
OP character, but I have a person that's really overpowered, but like if their character fits into the story or like their personality like makes the story more, like exciting, I'm here for it.
Why she
Yeah.
probably be like a Sakuna fangirl or something?
Shit, probably. Shit, it's probably Sakuna's old work. You never know.
Oh God.
Bro, listen, Yuji gonna pull up. She go, hold on now. She gonna be she gonna start. I know that smell. I know that
Oh
cologne.
no.
She gonna smell
Yeah,
that
she
nigga
gonna
breath and smell Sakuna all over that nigga.
yeah. Her Sakuna because Sakuna mouth gonna pop out. Sakuna mouth gonna pop out the side of that nigga face. He'll be like, what up? He'll be like, oh damn, I already know what time it is.
Hey
Watch.
yo,
We're gonna these last two chapters are gonna kind of merge them together just because they're very, very action packed. One Piece and My Hero Academia, both very, very high intensity, fast moving chapters.
yeah,
My Hero Academia, you see Deku really using all the powers of the holders, which is really dope. I think that he now has the ability to pull them out at will. And he's still learning how to use them as a game plan. Um I mean, even the holders before even say that there's a nice little thing where he's like, "Yo, listen, I understand that you just got these at your disposal, but at the end of the day, like your main power is your main power. So don't be out here just like wilding with these little gadgets."
They use all that shit at
yeah.
once.
But like his quirks are basically like a utility belt without having one, and it's kind of dope to see him combo with all of the powers, including like the smoke screen one, which we just seen for the first time. Like I didn't even know that was originally looking at. I didn't even know that was a part of his quirks, but to see that's one of the holders and him even conversing with the holder about the smoke screen, it's like, all right, you really got a full arsenal. Now the question is like we still don't see all of the users quirks,
because you still got
but
one.
yeah, I think well we didn't even see the two dudes that was facing the wall in the velvet room.
They're probably gonna say that for later. I can see
I
them
thought
doing
that
that.
was one of them.
Now
I
Or
thought
the
that's.
one guy,
I thought the smoke screen was
the smoke screen was the dude with the mask on who was talking. I think he's like the fourth user, the
fourth.
fourth or
Yeah,
no, the fourth user was the guy who lived to be 40. But I think he was somebody else entirely because he had like the best genius face on.
yeah.
But the two people facing the wall were like the Bakugo head nigga and then the other dude.
okay, no, no, y'all right, y'all right. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot about that boy.
Yeah,
But
but that's what I'm saying. Like he still got some more quirks under his belt though. That's the thing.
he do. I mean, this chapter was really to. This chapter was really more so to show how much stronger he is after that talk, and kind of like where he is at as a character, and like where he's really standing in this whole like I'm going rogue shit. Like I'm gonna do my own thing, and like all I'm focusing on is just building my power.
Yeah,
I think Muscular was a great villain to introduce that, like to really introduce this new Deku and introduce this, his whole changed attitude. I think Muscular was a great one because through Deku still has that heart of a hero. And I'm glad that they showed that. I'm glad they didn't really show this like he's not on some like broken, very silent. I'm not, like granted he distanced himself, but he more distanced himself to keep the people that he loves protected because he understands the situation. Uh but like even when he's talking to Muscular, he's like first of all, he's pressing this nigga. It was like, yo, where's All For One and where's Shigaraki? And Muscular is like, I don't fucking know. I'm just out here wreaking shit and like breaking shit, and I don't get like, he's like, man,
yeah,
listen, they broke me out of prison and was like, go wild, and I listened. Um, and you get this moment though where Muscular is pretty much like, listen, bro, I'm a villain because I just want to do what I want to do. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about what you need. Like I don't care about none of that. Like I'm here to do what I want to do, and that's just that. And I think that's
exactly.
just that's a good villain for new Deku to go up against at first, because now he's in the mindset of, okay, oh well, like now I just got to beat your ass. Like there's obviously this is a dead end. Now I just got to beat you up, and then so
Yeah,
it shows, in the final panel, obviously shows that Deku is much stronger than he was before.
yeah,
I'm a comic book head too, so like the second uh it's a thing with whenever Deku asks him, okay, like why are like your motivations for all of this? So like there's this old Spider-Man panel that I at least see like 3 times a month, and it's Spider-Man talking to Dr. Soros, who's this guy who's basically like part pterodactyl, whatever. And Spider-Man looks at him and is like, well, you can write DNA on the fly and you're able to, and you're using it to turn people into dinosaurs, but why don't you do anything like cure cancer or anything? And he looks back at him and is like, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Hey, but that's real shit though. Like
yeah,
Like, I
that's
don't want to do good things. I just want to fuck shit up.
yeah, like that is some real shit. Like you need those villains. Like you
yeah,
need those.
Let
Like
these
not
people be
every
bad to
villain
be
needs to
bad.
have.
yeah. The
Like not
Naruto
every
talk no
villain
jutsu don't work here, Playboy.
No.
No, fuck that power of friendship shit. I'm trying to wreak havoc. I'm trying to suplex a nigga through a building right now. Like that's what I'm on. Like that's the type of time I'm on
This is
right
what I get off on.
now.
Fuck.
Like fuck that whole other shit. I don't care about ruling the world. I don't care about tearing down society. No, what I want to do is punch a nigga through 3 buildings just because I can. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I want to fling a nigga into outer space because I'm that strong. Like that's why not? Why not? That's pretty much what he's telling Deku. He's like, why not? He's like, shit. I don't care. This is much different than Kaido.
Kaido's
Kaido's mission as a villain
died.
is I enjoy it because it's really like, nigga, I just want to find someone to kill me.
I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit. Tired of living. I mean, if I can be king of the pirates, sure. but I'm not pressed for it. Like
Yeah,
this is all very boring.
Yeah, he's like, man, fuck this. He's like, I don't care. I don't care. This is I've done beat up your favorite. Like I don't like what more do I gotta do?
Kaido is what happens whenever you new game plus any type of game and you start at level 99 and after a while you just quit halfway because you're bored.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, pretty
that's
much.
really good.
Well, unless you face that one wall of a boss and then you finally beat him, but that's because like the game kind of like got tired of you losing too much, and that was like in the sense of Odin in that flashback. Um, but even with Kaido, I think like his character motivations are a lot stronger and deeper than what we realize because we still ain't got that flashback, and I'm still waiting on this flashback to happen. But like the fact that this nigga is intentionally tanking everybody's attacks just to see if they can even do some remote type of damage to him, and the only person he's even dodged was Luffy.
I'm still trying to get over the fact that they've been fighting the Magikarp for the past 20 chapters.
Facts.
Hey, yo, the Magic Card been putting. Hey, man, listen, he been putting up a little fight
That
too.
nigga's a Gyarados now.
Yeah, he is.
Like
Hey, hold on, wait. We not gonna talk about though how that nigga went, and then why was he talking bad about my nigga Zeus behind his back? You want to
Oh,
go say big?
cause Zeus
Prometheus?
is trash.
Oh,
Yeah,
Prometheus is.
cause Zeus is
Oh,
trash.
Prometheus a messy bitch.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That
Prometheus is a
nigga,
messy bitch right there.
yeah, he was like, you know what?
Yo.
I don't even think we need him back, Mama. Like,
He was like, "Mama, you can leave that nigga outside. Like,
He been
listen, he can
fucking
handle
with
his
the
own."
enemy. Like, he been eating their snacks in their crib, drinking their juice. Bro
Listen,
didn't really need him.
he was spilling all the tea to Big Mom. He was like, "Listen, you ain't
that's the
hear this
sibling
from
that you definitely
me."
got to run hands with.
He was like, "You ain't hear this from me, but,
That
but
nigga said
I
you
done seen
can't.
your little friend out here running around with some." He was man. Listen, he got messy. Um, but I mean, obviously, the big thing that happens in One Piece this week is that Zolo unleashes the Supreme King Hockey, which why they make this nigga so strong? Like, I'm really wondering why they're making Zolo so strong. Like, I understand that his whole goal is to be like the master swordsman and everything, but his strength is damn near on par with Luffy's.
He's
Like,
vice captain. You can't have your vice
Yeah,
captain be no bitch.
yeah.
I mean, that's true.
If Luffy go down, that's the nigga who you gotta ride for you. Like you even see it in this chapter when Kaido's about to attack Luffy. He's like, "Hey yo, hold on, partner, you got my captain right there." Like
You talking about
No,
crushing
but
my head, you gotta crush mine first.
that's
exactly.
That's love though. Like I really do enjoy his character. I love it. I love his character. And like you just brought the main reason why. Like he's really, really strong. And sometimes I'm just like, damn, you make this thing really strong, but there just be moments where he pull up and it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, like he's a shooter. He's a shooter. And maybe and he accepts his role. He accepts his role as the shooter. Like he could really go off, start his own crew, do X, Y, and Z. But he just does it. He's like, no, fuck it. I'm gonna just roll with this nigga.
Probably
Like
just
we just
lost.
run it up together.
But I think it's also like when you see where Zoro started from, this nigga was bound up in chains for like a month, and Luffy came and saved this nigga life. And so that from that like way back at like chapter 3 or 4, whatever, like that, all the way up until this point, you got Zoro can't help for ride for Luffy. Them like day ones for real, bro. Like Luffy chose that nigga first, so of course Zoro riding for him in this moment when he's down and out unconscious is like, bro, that's nothing but love from Zoro. You know what I mean? And for him to go all out for Kaido to make it his last attack, and he can't put nothing else behind it, and he actually scars Kaido, and he Kaido acknowledges that. Come on, bro. Like Zoro's that nigga, bro. Like,
Kaido really sat there and was like, if y'all niggas wasn't fighting me, we could honestly have this King of the Pirate shit done already.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
He
just
was
needed
really
I
hey,
could just
he was
taken
making a
y'all
good
and it would have
point.
been straight.
exactly.
Kaido was like, nigga, bro, listen, we over here boxing. He was like, why they trying to make a divide between us? Light skin, dark skin. Scar Mufasa. We all niggas, bro. That's Kaido. He's like, man, listen, why you trying to split us up?
Shit.
Oh man.
And then you get Luffy in the background, it's like, bro. Why are you trying to put us against each other, bro? You already done hurt our friends. You done hurt
Man,
us through the ringer for the last 20 years. Fuck no, we ain't joining you. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Luffy steps up with the game plan. He remembers all of his training he did, and he unleashes. This is Zoro's chapter, but like Luffy did step up and like do some wild shit too at the end. Like this nigga didn't even touch the club, bro. This nigga did not touch that club whatsoever, and two piece Kaido. Not one piece, two piece. That nigga had him leaking on the ground, bro. Like,
hey,
Not
this is the
One
first
Piece, 'cause
time
that's not a
Kaido really
trade he
done got
wanted.
his ass whooped. This is the first time Kaido really done got his ass whooped, and he's like, I don't know if he's truly surprised or if he's trying to act surprised to cover up the fact that this nigga is really worried. Like, God damn, these niggas really moving my ass right now. Like, he's eating those punches like, ha ha ha, I'm eating these. In reality, in his mind, he's like, God damn, these shits hurt. Like, he's like, dang, you heavy handed nigga. Like,
Like,
yeah.
like damn,
I
you
wouldn't doubt it.
he was using fist.
Straight fist.
I mean, because I wouldn't doubt it either. Because like we get Whitebeard at Marineford, and that nigga was eating tank like cannon shots, stab wounds, all of that shit, and he didn't even fall when he died. That nigga died standing up.
Whitebeard a different breed.
Whitebeard did that shit with the IV still in his chest.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he was
He
still
was
hooked
built
up.
different.
He's really built different. Like Kaido and Man Beast form doing this. Like Whitebeard was on life support and everything. Got the IV looked up. They could have pulled the plug any minute on my man's.
I'm still thrown off by that
Exactly.
man, by the fact that man 21 feet tall. That shit don't make no damn sense.
It make no damn sense. That boy 21 feet tall. First of all, how they got IVs in the pirate world? That's what I was wondering. I'm like,
I
who
mean, they
made
got
this for him?
Chopper as a whole doctor.
Yeah, bro. Chopper is an entire
Chopper,
doctor.
I
Chopper
forgot how the
different.
fuck Chopper made that vaccine for the smile virus that they put out in that bitch
Man,
because
he
he
got the
ain't had
Pfizer
nary
out
a
there.
centrifuge or nothing. But they got out there
Man,
and
that
made it
boy
happen.
Chopper should have made the Pfizer.
That's what I'm saying.
Chopper made the Johnson Johnson, which you sleep on.
The one shot, the one hitter quitter.
One shot.
Oh man. But man, Nick, thank you so much, bro, for pulling up on us today. This is a
Yeah, man.
definitely a super fun episode. I appreciate you hopping on. Man, plug yourself, bro. Like I know you say you do the Twitch thing. I also know that you said you just released like a book or something like that, right?
Oh yeah. So me and one of my close friends, well, I'm in grad school for counseling right now, and my close friend Kayla Life, she just completed her coursework and whatnot. So she hit me up, I want to say like December last year, with this idea of doing a children's book series basically centered on mental health. So, and especially for like children and families of color. So, for children, it's a means to understand what's going on, and for parents and adults, it's a way to be able to explain to children what's going on about different aspects of mental health and whatnot that impact them as they grow up, and like just about things that they don't necessarily understand. So the first book we have, it's set for pre-order right now on kksq.org/press. um, it's available for pre-order. The first book is centered on anxiety, and we have, I want to say, about three or four more that are going to be scheduled to be coming out within the year and next year. That all center around like different aspects such as depression and stuff like that. And then also, I took a little sabbatical because grad school is kicking my ass right now, but I will be going back to doing Twitch streams. So I usually work on like live artwork and stuff like that digitally via Twitch. And my tag on that is twitch.tv/image_inception. That's why majority of the people that follow me and whatnot usually just call me Image for short. But yeah, that's really about most of like everything that I'm doing right now.
Man, that's beautiful. That's amazing, man. That's really dope. Yeah, bro. That's like the whole like all that is so dope. And if you're listening, please go check him out. Please go pre-order that book because that's some important shit that he's talking about. So definitely go check him out. Pre-order. Check this Twitch. When you get back on streaming and whatnot, I need to tap in. I need to get back like watching streams and shit. Um,
It's fun
yeah, man.
community.
So, but yeah, man. Once again, thank you everybody for listening. You already know where to find us at the Lookout RNC. Make sure you're following, subscribing everywhere you listen to podcasts. Listen to us. Follow on Twitter, IG. Make sure you follow RNC Radio Live. Your one-stop shop for everything you need, pop culture, man, podcasts, all of it. So make sure you're subscribed there. Make sure you follow One Mage Academy, where AD's out here putting you on to the newest and the latest of everything in entertainment. AD, what's the sign off?
Please read more manga, watch more anime, drink more water, and live more life. Take care.